Today I have an exciting video for you. This is a collab with the brand Meeden. They sent me some watercolor paper. It's a watercolor block. In fact, it is 100% cotton, cold pressed, 10 by 7 inches, acid free, 300 GSM. So it checks all the boxes that I have when it comes to watercolor paper. You know, often we say that you should just use whatever you have. But I feel like with watercolor paper, yes, if you don't have anything, you have very basic limited supplies and you can't get anything else, then yes, use what you have. But I feel like when it comes to watercolor painting, the paper quality makes such a big difference. The quality of the paints too, but I feel like the paper quality is like the most important thing when it comes to having a good experience while painting with watercolors. So for me, I always look for cold presses because I like the texture, but 100% cotton is good. I like a heavyweight paper, so 300 GSM is good for me. They had good reviews on their website. There's 20 sheets in this, so I have made a little sketch of a painting that I want to try. So we'll just get to that. So this is the reference picture I'm going to be using. I did a quick charcoal sketch in my sketchbook just to have a better idea of the values and the composition. I made some changes to the painting here. I really wanted the eye to go towards something here, so I moved this little cluster of trees here, so you get a nice focal point. Everything leads to this little cluster. Your eye is gonna get through there just because of all the lines that get there, and also because of the difference in contrast. This tree is going to be much darker than the background, and hopefully the eye is going to naturally go towards this spot. I was about to do the drawing. I decided to help myself a little bit, so I drew the horizon line and the trees in the distance, and then I just painted the sky and painted the ground. I'm going to add on top, so I'm going to do the rest of the drawing now. But I just wanted to tell you something. I was a bit worried when I first started because I thought that this paper wasn't that good. It buckled a lot when I added the water. But then I realized that it is because the first page is like a protecting sheet. So I'm gonna show you some examples of what happened when I added the water here. It buckled so much and it looked like a very thin piece of paper, which it is because it's a protecting sheet. You're supposed to remove it. It's not meant to be painted on. So I did, and I did this again, and you can see the difference in the color. It absorbed the paint very well. Buckled slightly, but nothing dramatic, not like this. So when you get the Meeden watercolor block, make sure you take off the first piece of paper because this is not meant to be used as watercolor paper. If you want, use it as a drawing paper or whatever, but this is not watercolor paper. This is. So I just wanted to clear that out because here is the sketch we're going to be working on. I drew some trees in the background, and there's going to be a lot of shadows on the ground, which I think is going to be very nice. Hopefully the eye is going to lead to this little tree cluster right there. So let me start with the lightest shades first. Since we're working with watercolors, this is quite important to start with the lightest. You can always add darker colors after on top whenever it's dry. So there's a bunch of trees in the distance that are a bit lighter. They receive some more light, so I'm going to paint them first, and then later I might add a bit of dimension with darker colors. I love this green. This is green gold from Daniel Smith. I love a golden green. I'm just taking my time enjoying this process because painting with watercolors is just so fun. So far, I have to say that this paper does very well. This is quite good news because I was so scared for a second that I got paper that wasn't good at all. It put me in a weird position, you know, when you receive something for free and then you find out it's not very good, and then I couldn't have done a video if it wasn't good. Like I would have had to contact the company and say like, this isn't up to my standard. I don't see myself making a positive video about this product. But turns out it was my mistake. So I feel like this is a mistake many people can make since it's not well advertised. I don't think. I went to the website and I tried to find out if there was any information about this product, and it was clear or not that the first page was kind of a protecting layer, and it wasn't clear. And I watched some YouTube videos as well. I couldn't see anybody talking about this, so this is why I was confused. So I kind of took a gamble this morning and decided to remove the first page, and good thing that I did, because I was painting on the wrong paper this whole time. Well, not this whole time, just for a few, maybe half an hour, so it's not too bad. But I feel like this is a mistake a lot of people can make, so be warned. Okay, then I'm going to do these trees in the background, and according to my value sketch here, the trees in the background need to be darker than the trees that I just painted, but not as dark as my focal point and not as dark as these trees, these leaves at the top. So let's make something a little bit darker. I really like how the paper absorbs the water. I feel like I have some time to work the paint in. It doesn't dry too fast, and the paint spreads really well. No. No. Uh-oh. Did you see what happened? Let's see if we can fix that mistake with a really clean brush. I dropped my brush on the paper, which is something that I do quite a lot, unfortunately, but I think that we managed to salvage it. It might just add a little bit more texture to this area. The paper seems good enough that I can rework the paint that's on top, so this is another good point. So it's something that you can do when you mess up like I just did. I don't know what happened, and because I had to go back on this area, this part dried, so I'm going to see what happens when I try to reactivate the paint. So I'm just going over a section that I previously painted, and I think that it's reactivating well enough. Oh my god. Who knew that painting with this product would cause such a roller coaster of emotions? I managed to save it. So this is what we managed to do on our first painting on this new paper, and it went so well. I was able to add layers after layers. I was able to do some glazing. I was able to reactivate some paint to kind of erase some areas a little bit. It reacted very well to all of this, so I'm super satisfied. I just worked on the shadows, added a bit of dimension, a little bit of variation in the colors. I worked on the trees in the background, doing the same thing, making some areas a bit darker and then some a bit lighter, adding a bit of yellow in there. And I did a pass of pale yellow color on the sky because I thought that it was weird that the sky was this pale blue when the shadows were all very yellow, like it was the golden hour, you know, the end of the day. So I wanted the sky to reflect that a little bit. So I did a few passes of light glazing with a yellow color. So I love it. It's so nice. I'm going to take it off of the pad now, and we're gonna call it a day. So what you do to take it off of the pad is you have this little area here in the middle right there. There's a little area where you can put a knife in or any other sharp. You could use maybe a painting knife, and then oh well, I see that it is glued very well, so I'm gonna take my time to do this and I'll come back. Here we go. So I just went all around using a pretty dull knife, and that's it. This is so nice, a very good paper quality and a very cheap price. So if you're looking for a paper like this, a watercolor block, I really recommend. And you saw at the beginning I had a bit of struggle removing the sheet of paper from this block. It is because it is glued on very well, which is something that I have found in the past with other blocks that it was lacking. I found that the glue wasn't strong enough, so when you add a lot of water, like I like to do, the paper would just disconnect itself from the block and was very annoying, but not with this one. So I'm very happy about this. Here it is. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you are interested in getting this watercolor block or any other Meeden product, they have a sale going on right now. It's a back to school sale. It gives you 15% off, I think, if you buy 2 products. I have a link in my description. I also have an affiliate link, so if you use my link, I get a small commission, but you don't have to use it if you don't want to. But if you do, it's good for everybody. But yeah, let me know what you thought of this video. Let me know if you're thinking of getting anything, and I will see you again in 2 weeks. Take care.